What's up, people? I'm back. It's been a while. That's okay. Life happens. Anyway, I'm back with a recipe this time. Gonna make something pretty cool. Alright, here we go. Alright, so the recipe that I'm gonna show you is something that it's like a bread that is really popular. I guess I want to say in Caribbean culture because it has so many names. I've heard so many names for it, like throughout the Caribbean. Where I'm from, which is in the Virgin Islands, it's called Johnny cakes. And then where my father is from, it's the same bread, and they call it bakes. And I've also heard fried dough, sweet bread, a whole bunch of other things, names that I've heard for it. So I'm going to be making that. Whatever you call it, that's what I'm going to be making today. First, the most staple ingredient is obviously flour because it's a bread. So first is flour. And so you're going to take a cup of flour. I have a dry ingredients measuring cup, but I mean, honestly, I'm not that crazy about precise measurements. So a cup is a cup. This is actually a little less than a cup. Just gonna add some more then. So we got a cup of flour. Take this big ass bowl and mix your dry ingredients first. Alright, next is baking powder. You don't need a lot of this. Honestly, just like a teaspoon or a tablespoon. So the purpose of the baking powder is to make things rise when you're baking or cooking something. So that's what you want. Bread rises, cake rises. Those ingredients have baking powder. So I just took I don't know if you consider this a tablespoon or a teaspoon. It's a spoon. Like I said, I'm not that crazy about measurements. I just got a spoon here and I took some baking powder and I'm just gonna add it. I think that's great. Also, I'm going to add a little salt. I like to use sea salt because it's the healthiest salt that's around. So I'm going to just sprinkle some sea salt. Nothing crazy because you don't want salty bread. Like, what is that, you know? Voila. Okay, and the last thing, well, the last dry ingredient I'm going to add is sugar. This is a bag of brown sugar. You can use white sugar, granulated sugar, whatever. Personally, I just like brown sugar because it's more healthy. And I don't have a measurement for you for this. Sorry. Just some sugar. Perfect. Actually, I'm going to add a little more. Now it's perfect. Now it's like wet ingredients. Now I've seen some people put milk into this. I never did that. My mom never did that. I never seen anybody in my family put milk. If you want to put milk, go ahead. It's yours. We just use water. So I have a cup of water here. I'm not going to add the entire thing yet. When you mix flour and stuff, when you're trying to mix dough, you always add water slowly. I also have butter. This butter is vegan butter. You can use any butter you want. Some people use shortening, whatever. Like I said, you can change it up to your liking. I'm just going to add a little bit of this vegan butter because that's just the butter I use. So just a spoonful of butter is what I added. Beautiful. Alright guys, I'm back. After watching, I had to call a lifeline because I wasn't like really happy with how the dough was looking. So they haven't called me back yet. But anyway, I watched some videos and I realized that it's a lot more soft than I think it should be. So I added more flour to it. And I'm actually going to take it out of this bowl and put it on this cutting board so that I can knead it. Because that's what I need to do. I put flour on the cutting board so that while I'm actually like mixing the dough with my hand, it can also catch some of the flour that it's sitting on too. So let me do that. Alright, so there's the dough there. Let me get the rest out of this bowl. You see here I'm gonna use the table now. I just sprinkled some flour all over the table. Alright, so I'm just gonna add a little more flour to this. Just because it's still a little damp, I guess I would say. I don't want it to be hella firm because I saw some videos where it was like hella firm. I don't want it to be like that. I just want it to be more firm than what I have it right now. You don't have to use this, but I'm just going to use it a little bit. Alright, so this looks really good to me. I'm actually going to let it sit for a couple minutes again, just so that it's perfect. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, it's been like 5 minutes since I let this sit, and now I'm just going to break it up into pieces so that I can fry it. Let's do this shit. Alright, so I'm just basically breaking this off. This is the size that I'm going for. I'm just gonna roll it into a ball, and then when they're all rolled into a ball, I'm just gonna flatten them out and I'll show you the next step. But for now, this is the size that we're going for, okay? Here we go. As you can see, when I'm breaking it off, the dough is not like stuck to my hands. If your whole hand was like full of dough, like the small piece here, that means that the dough is not dry enough. It doesn't have enough flour, so you would need to add more flour. Alright, so I have them all rolled out into a ball now. The next thing I'm going to do is flatten them. I'm just going to add some flour or more flour on the table. As you can see, this recipe is a lot of flour, so make sure you have sufficient, okay? So I'm just going to flatten them. If you want, you can use the roller pin. You don't want them like hella flat, but just kinda, you know? And next I'm going to get a fork and poke some, you just poke like some. And why we're doing this, so that when you fry the dough, it fries evenly throughout. Alright guys, so here I have my oil that I heated. This, I just used canola oil or any kind of vegetable oil. This is what I use, Crisco vegetable oil. Some people fry it in coconut oil too. Personally, I don't. First of all, coconut oil is mad expensive. You think I'm putting hella coconut oil in a pot just to fry something? Nope, not gonna do that. So I just use vegetable oil. And here I have the Johnny cakes right here on this cutting board. They all are flattened, and I poked holes in them so that they can fry evenly in the pan. So now I'm just gonna put them in. There we go. And you want it to be sizzling like that when you put it in. And then these are gonna fry for like, you know, like about 5 to 10 minutes. And you're gonna like, well, I'm gonna turn them over. When they get that golden brown color, then you know they're ready to come out. Alright, so these are kind of golden enough. I'm going to flip them on the other side. Alright, so these are looking nice and golden enough for me to take out. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll put the next batch in. And when they're done, I'll show you guys the finished product. Alright, so here is the final product. They are a little on the flat side. Personally, I like them more flat than puffy. But yeah, if you wanted yours to be more thick, then you wouldn't flatten it out with the roller pin like I did. But that's basically it.